So we had great panels again this year, but I thought this year we really went on a high note regarding the disruptions in trade, the tariffs, the geopolitics. But all of those disruptions demonstrate that trade, again, is a very resilient asset class because of the lack of correlation with all those disruptions. So this is the message to institutional investors. Trade is your best uncorrelated asset class.
This year at ITFA, the biggest trend that I've observed is collaboration. Everybody is keen, positive, and wants to collaborate because that's how we solve the world's problems together.
So for me, the biggest trend that I've been seeing in trade is just the constant fluid movement of it from country to country, from region to region, and the networking here and the opportunity for each other to work with each other has been extremely valuable as that trade flow moves across region or market.
Despite the regulatory fragmentation and the economic volatility, my key takeaway is trade is resilient and trade finance remains resilient as well.
Collaboration. Local and regional banks with amazing deep relationships with corporates around the world, looking to partner up with international players like JP Morgan, who have the technical innovation chops and the international reach, so that together we can win deals that we would not have won separately.
I've observed that nothing beats getting on a plane to go and meet people from the trade world. People that you've met before, you're meeting again, but also people that you've never met before, you will be meeting again.
I think I'm seeing a very, very defined tactical call to action to address the trade finance gap.
Yesterday, there's been a lot of focus. I think I listened to two of the panels, and I think they were in sync in saying that Africa is the new gold mine. Despite these obvious challenges going to a new market, but Africa just provides the most opportunity and potential for growth. So I think Africa is the key focus right now.
I think there's never been as much uncertainty as there is now.
I'm really looking forward to hear about greater cooperation between banks, non-banks, investors, and non-banks like platform. It's a theme that has been developing over the recent years. I'm looking forward to hear many players, speak of their experience in that aspect.
The biggest trend has been, to me, the shift that is happening with US tax. We see a lot of banks seeing a lot of opportunities, and in the meantime, we see lower business just in the last days. So it's going to be really interesting to see how it's shifts and in which direction.
So I think the general interest for Africa and the amount of interest is creating among participants.
The single most important trend is that trade has become so visible in terms of impact on the global economy and the need for digitalization.
So I think it has to be TFCOP, and along with that, particularly from my perspective, Africa and the collaboration in the trade practitioner body and across the industry in sustainability through TFCOP.
I'm seeing the collaboration between banks, between themselves and between the vendor, the software vendor, and it's amazing to see, and it's a very great event for us.
Well, I think I've really been surprised by the fact that most people are saying that the world economy is in better shape than we think. And though tariffs have shaken up Asia, Asia is still 50% of global trade versus US, which is 10. So I think it's really this discussion about South-South trade, South-South investment, that has been boosted by the tariffs. And so I think we're probably in a better position than I realized before I came here.
It's inspiring to see so much collaboration amongst such a diverse group of peers in the industry.
One thing is that despite the big geopolitical situation, tariffs and so on, trade is still happening, finance is still happening, so that's good, it's evolving. The second trend though is that pricing is super thin and becoming really unsustainable.
Big theme that I've seen, which is very upbeat, is that actually trade finance as an industry is very resilient. We've of course had a lot of problems with tariffs, the geopolitical issues, all these things are very well known. But the figures that are coming out from the market, great presentation by Edward Lee this morning, Chief Economist, Standard Chartered for this region, are that things are not too bad. And if you look at the background environment, things are not great. So how has trade finance managed. So I think it's done a pretty good job. Whether that will continue, I think if we have the same resilient spirit, I think we can be confident. So I've left with a really positive feeling.